Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show Aftershow episode number 562 today. And that means we do have the audio. What up, Di? I'm Coach Steve Money, and I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, not just some guy. And you're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. And for my financial content, just scroll past the Oak Island and Skinwalker Ranch playlists. Then you'll see the Ramsey Show After Show. As I said, today is number 562 in that. And I do an 8 p.m. Eastern Time stream some days that I can't do an after show. Not all of them. Also could be weekend days as well that I would do an 8 p.m. stream. And that's answering your financial questions. And there are 147 of those. So some quick math on that. That's like 708, 709, including today's different shows. So plenty of me to listen to telling people that they're doing it wrong. I also have 12 Ramsey adjacent songs in here, including the newest one, and then the music playlist, rather. Including the newest one is When You're on Baby Step 2. No spending money to seem cool. Dun, dun. When you're on Baby Step 2. And market report. And hey, look at that. NASDAQ and the Russell Small Cap Index both over 1% today. So that is good. We like that. Let's take a look. Haven't really looked at it recently. Like, let's check the month. Okay, in the last 6 months, up as well. Not that much up, but still up over 6 months. What is it? Up 0.6%. So, all right. But you remember it wasn't that long ago where we were seeing times in the red. Maybe no, not even there. Past 5 days. Look at that. Very nice. And where are we as far as... Oh, hey, look at that. Imagine that. Very close to a new high for the S&P 500. Again, it always comes back. Probably more to go for. No, about the same. 19627. No. Well, oh, that's 2026. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, a little bit further to go for a new high for the NASDAQ. But a lot of days, the NASDAQ is significantly more than goes up more than the S&P 500. How about that? Let's see what the rest of the planet is doing. Everything up in Europe. Everything up in Asia. I get everything must be fine in the world. Do you think? Currencies, let's see. Euro up over the US dollar. Japanese yen up over the US dollar. The British pound low up over the US dollar. Canadian dollar E. They're not sorry. Their currencies is worth more. And the Australian dollar making it a clean sweep for the world against the US dollar. And again, that normally does happen where the dollar will be down when it's a good investing day, when it's a good day for the stock market. That does happen. Let's see, we got Nike coming up on Thursday. Nike, interesting. Apple down again. And Tesla down. It went way up yesterday, like 10% or something like that, I believe. And let's see, do I have any? Oh, I do have a story here from Fox Business. Trump pushes Congress to work over very dumb, hard-headed Fed Chair Powell ahead of testimony. The president has been hammering Powell while calling for rate cuts. And I mean, I can't criticize POTUS for that because I've been doing the same thing for a long time now. Because supposedly, as Joey from Friends would say, supposedly, um, the Fed wants it to be 2% inflation every year. And so if it's higher than that, why don't you be proactive and cut rates? Why are you waiting? Why are you waiting until it's a problem and then act? That's so dumb. That is so dumb. So I agree that he is very dumb. I mean, and I'm no financial whiz or anything like that. There may be things going on that I don't know about, but like I said, when they say that they want it to be 2% per year, if it starts even getting close to being that 2% to get to going over, if it starts being like the indications are that it's going to be over, why not cut the rate? You can always move it back up if inflation goes down too much. We can't have that happen either, I guess. What up, Sid? Baby step up, don't baby step back. That's correct. I want my baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. I want my baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Let's do some, let's see if there's anything interesting happening in the world. Let's see what the other Microsoft plans major job cuts at Xbox gaming division. All right, a lot of big companies doing cuts. Powell emphasizes Fed obligation to prevent ongoing inflation problem despite Trump criticism. Okay, so you can emphasize that all you want, but until you cut the rate, you're not doing crap about it. So dumb. So dumb. Maybe one day I'll find out, oh, there's, a logical reason why they like to wait too long to do it. Maybe there's something. Maybe I'll find that out something. But until then, I'm going to say he's dumb as crap. American Airlines plane hit with unexpected turbulence. 5 hospitalized. That's not good. iPhone can be used as a digital driver's license, but only in these states so far. You know what you can do? You can just carry your driver's license with you. Amazon bringing faster delivery to thousands of small towns and cities. Well, faster delivery, I mean, that could increase sales. People say, oh, I get this that quick. Wow, I need that. Getting Trump's full tax break on car loans may mean buying a $130,000 vehicle, and of course, POTUS, a fan of borrowing money, and so differ with him on that. And so 130,000 on a vehicle. Yeah. Good luck with that. People buying those. Fox Business sponsors flee from National Association of Black Accountant recruiting event report. Okay, something going on there. Gas Buddy expert claims gas prices will see massive spike are incorrect on the highest level. Okay. Gas Buddy expert says claims gas price. So the Gas Buddy expert says that's not going to happen, and there's other people claiming that they are going to. Okay, I understand it now. Real estate company Compass sues Zillow over consumers' right to choose. Okay, as far as being listed on there on the Zillow is always fun to look at. Alrighty. Key the zebra. You do not want to key the zebra. This I think I read this one, or read something else before this one, or maybe I remember seeing it. Frustration post, got a 4-year degree in supply chain and can't get a job anywhere. I've been looking for 2 years. Actually, I think I did this one before. Looked at purchasing job, inventory jobs. I'm at the point, well, you got to do more than look at them. You actually have to apply for them. And so if you've been applying for them, see, looking for 2 years, you need to work somewhere, even if it's McDonald's. Oh, I will be working in a computer repair shop soon for $16 an hour. Okay. Either that or driving for Uber with my high mileage car. I have $45,000 of student loans and can't make a dent at all. Another reason why you should not take out student loans, because this person did actually graduate. Some people don't do that. He did actually graduate but can't get a job in supply chain. So there's a lot of jobs where they don't hire you unless you have experience, and then you don't get hired unless you have experience. So there's no way to break in. It just depends on the specifics of the job. And when he says can't get a job anywhere, I'm gonna go ahead and guess hasn't looked outside of the city that he's in, maybe. How about try different states? How about different parts of the country, et cetera, et cetera? Annual skirt, $99.21. You only wear one once a year? Is it me, or budgeting for groceries is becoming more and more insane? No, some things might be going up, but then you adjust your budget and you don't just say, how can I afford this and get this same thing now that it's gone up? You don't. Or you adjust and stop getting other things. Stop getting the most expensive stuff. Partner and I have really cut down eat out. You've also cut down on your word usage here to save some words there. Trying to get the last few pieces of debt paid off. Okay. So you don't cut down on it, you cut it completely. So you're doing it wrong. But our grocery bill is insane, and we're shopping at Walmart. The local IGAs are running at $250 to $300 a week. Walmart, we are consistently at $200 per week for 2 people. I don't think that's bad. What do you think it would be? Wait a minute. Oh, 200 a week. Yeah, that's too much. That's too much. So yeah, you can get that down. You're buying, part of it is we're on keto. See, that's your dumbass fault that you're doing that. And so cheap foods like beans, rice, are a no-go. Well, okay, do you want to get out of debt more, or do you want to stay on keto? You get to make that choice. Okay, I got a great idea. Why don't you get rid of your dumbass debt and pay it off, and then get your full emergency fund, and then once you're back on step 4, then how about we go back on keto then? I think everything will be fine. So let's see, we shop smart and see, whatever you type after the reason is not necessary. You don't have to answer anything there. Can't imagine a family of 4. Family of 4 doesn't apply to you. What applies to you is that you're doing dumbass keto and costing yourself more money at the grocery store that you could be putting to debt. So you're doing it wrong. Oh, if I get a phone call, I might have to go. If I put the be right back up, I may be back, maybe not. Don't know, because my air conditioner is broken, and so I do have a ticket that I created last night, a repair request, and so I might have to deal with that. But they don't seem to be in that much of a hurry, so they might come later after I've gone to work. But that'll be what it is. Let's see. Sid says go to apply to a casino or somewhere in warehousing. Supply chain rolls right up to that. Yep. An elective diet is a luxury, that much is certain. But see, in their little world, in their little situation, they think they get a pass for that. They don't think it is. They think, oh well, that's what we're doing, and so that's just the way it has to be. No, that is why. That is the problem. So you know, is it me? Yes, it is. It's you for being dumb and not realizing that your keto thing is the problem. And so it's not groceries becoming more and more insane. It's you being more and more insane. Loving nature, success stories. I love it. Hear your wins following Ramsey's methods, specifically around paying off student loan debt. Inspiring. I love hearing personal stories about how others have success. Thanks in advance. I think I did when I did basically a little preview for it, and that's basically answering the whole thing. Student loans were one of the first types of debt I got. And when I dropped out of college, I paid that off fairly quickly. Didn't stop me from taking out other debt, but I wanted to get that behind me. So that, you know, that was good thinking there. The doing other debt was not good thinking. So that's all I can speak to on that. So it wasn't that much because I hadn't gone that long. And so that's the dealio on that. Calorie restriction works on every budget, right? Since even when we had 2 people eating carnivore, it was $400 a month, not $200 a week. Yep. Keto should be cheaper than that. Well, yeah, but they got to get the name brand food, and they got to get this and that and stuff like that, Sid. Come on now, Sid. Upstate New Yorker, 10 years car payment free month. Car payment free this month. I stumbled on Dave Ramsey 10 years ago, just a couple of months after getting my first after college job. 2 weeks later, I sold my car that I had made payments on for 4 months. I've been car payment free ever since. 4 car payments my entire life and never again. Fabulous. Hopefully no other debt either, which comes in handy in New York State. Cisco Lupe. Plumbing, too bad options need more options. I was watching this episode of Ramsey where he said, if you're faced with 2 bad options, you need more options. Yep. And I've heard him say the same on other shows, right? And a lot of people will not consider other options. They're like, well, it has to be this one or this one. And just like my girl here, or my partner and I, so I don't know. No, maybe not. Unknown sex here, but this person, it's like the stopping the keto is like not even a glimmer of a thought in this person's mind, and so could be the same up here with the plumbing too bad options. Let's see. My issue is 3 under slab leaks found via pinpoint testing. Well, don't get the pinpoint testing in the first place, and then you won't know about the leaks. I'm kidding about that. Insurance said that the leaks were too small to cause any issues. Okay, therefore they will not help pay for the fix. Alrighty, well, they might be right about that. I don't know enough about plumbing, enough about under slab leaks. I couldn't tell you whether that's going to be a problem or not. You know, and if you think it should be fixed anyway, then yeah, you got to do it. I've just been ignoring them for a while now, but I've decided I want to sell my house and move closer to family. Well, I guess I have 3 bad options, actually. Oh, there's more to it. Open the whole one. There we go. 1, sell a, why didn't it indent properly? Normally it indents properly. 3 bet, sell to an investor as is. Tunnel underneath the slab to repair the leaks. So far, only 2 quotes for around 15K. Yeah, waiting for others to come take a look. But I think it's going to be 5 digits no matter what. Okay. Con's expensive, but I have the money. Okay, quit whining about it. Or here's the other option. Wait a minute. Let's see. Let's give him a chance. Trenchless repair involves much less digging, but the process could injure the pipes. Then I would have to wind up tunneling anyway. The process involves a liner, as I understand it. Right. Okay. So what you can also do is sell it as is with that issue. And you can, you can put in the description, the insurance says that it's not a problem, and so they're not going to pay for it. And so I'm not either. And so I will take off 15K off the house. How about that? Off the house price of what it is actually worth. How about you do that? And nobody ever wants to do that. And definitely the realtor isn't going to suggest that you do that, because they want to sell the house for as much as possible so they get the most amount of money. The other problem with trenchless, I can't find anyone yet who has who's had this done. Next door homeowners plumbing. I had some plumbers telling me it's a bad idea. Yeah, I wouldn't, I'm going to go ahead and say, let's not be a do-it-yourself person that's never done it and is like, I'm going to take a shot at it. Let's not do that. How about we not do that? You can end up causing more damage to the slabs or the pipes or whatever. Do you have any other options besides trenching and trenchless liner? Yeah, you sell it for less. You sell it $15,000 less than it's worth, and then they can get it repaired if they want. If it makes any difference, house was built in 2005, 1-story brick, Texas, in a part of town where there are foundation issues due to clay shrink and expanding. Okay. Currently not in a rush. I don't need to move right away. Okay, well, live with it until you decide to move. Also, a mention, #mention, shut up Matty Bags, that I have money saved, so I won't need to go into debt. Right, so you can just pay for it and shut up about it. But when I move, I'm leaving a job that pays decently, so the less money I spend on this, the better. Yeah, well, I mean, all that's up to you. All that's up to you. Insurance is saying it's not a big deal, and so it might not be a big deal. They might just not want to pay for it. So I don't really know what to tell you on that. But again, if you want to sell, sell. If you don't, stay there and live with it. And if you want it fixed, you can fix it. See, the thing is, you don't get a little, some people, and even adults, sometimes get into this situation where they're like, oh, well, because I want it fixed, that means that has to happen, but I don't want to pay for it, but that still has to happen somehow. And that is idiocy. That is lunacy is what that is. But people do think like that. Stevens Yo-Yo, alrighty, 931. What's next? I'm too hip for the end, by the way, in case you were wondering. What's next? Debt-free, but now what? Well, what you talking about, Willis? That would be step 3 then. Let's check. Make sure Mr. Ramsey has not changed the baby steps. Oh, look, debt-free. Step 2, pay off all debt except the house using that snowball. So assuming that's done, and we weren't lied to just then the next thing would be step 3, 36 months of expenses. So why do you need to ask? Let's see. And it takes more than, not that much more, to ask. I'm 37, so I'm curious. All right. A lot of my investments are in 401k and Roth IRA, which I can't touch without penalty until 59.5. Right. That's correct. So you don't touch it till then. How do you draw an income between now and when you can touch those accounts? At 37, you keep your ass working, lazy. And what would I do for health insurance coverage? You keep your ass working, and you can't retire early. I'd like to retire early. Tough crap. Apparently, you cannot do that because you don't have enough money saved up to do that and be financially independent at 50-ish. But I worry about, and by 50, say that's 13 years, so maybe you could save up by then. Hey, I guess you better not go on vacations or eat out or do anything like that so you have enough money to retire early. That is up to you. You can make that happen. Boom. Where are we at? One, not having access to cash to live on. Well, that would be what saving would be, and not spending it. How you save any amount of money, how you achieve any baby step, it actually is that you do not spend the money on anything else. Two, lacking employer-based health insurance right now. Well, keep working then if you're that worried about it. It's easy. See, this is what I'm talking about again, where they're too wrapped up in their own little mind and their own little situation and what they have built up in their minds, and they can't think logically about it. Whereas you can just say, if you're that worried about it, keep your lazy ass working then. Right now, we are investing max into 401k and Roth IRA. Is adding a rental property for cash flow the right move for me so I can live off the cash in about 15 years? No. Quit being a dumbass, because there's no mortgages on rental properties, and so you would have to pay cash for that, which you say you don't have. You're so dumb. Net worth is near 900K. We're debt free. House is worth 350K. Medium cost of living, below our means, but have lots of kids. Hey man, that's the way it goes. One income at 120K. What would you do in my situation? Keep working. You don't get a pass on the math just because you want to retire early. Keep working. Whoops. Missing my chat there. Means you can work because you want to, not because you have to. Take something part-time that you actually enjoy versus chasing an ideal paycheck, right? That's an option as well. A lot of times you have to work full-time though to get the employer health care. And so again, if that is important to you and you don't think you can be self-insured, then that's going to be it. You know, if you're trying to retire 9.5 years before you can get your retirement money, so you need to have a bridge account that takes you until then, and that means saving and not spending the money on something else and not doing something dumbass like getting a rental property. For adhesiveness 562, safe place to invest money given to me. I was given 50K and looking to put it somewhere to earn money, but not looking to risk it too much. High yield savings account. I wanted to check that too, because Trey was acting like nobody was offering 15. I know it was like 5 anymore. I know it was around that. Not quite at it, but like high fours, I believe. High yield savings on the bank rate up to 4.44. Okay, so 4.44. Okay. 4.3. Yeah, and so you do have to read, make sure you read all the fine print, not just right there, but there's more stuff there. And of course, when you actually go to open it, there'll be more information on that company's website. 4.3, 425. Where's the 444 at? Maybe it's not one. No? Oh, there it is. That is at Peak Bank Savings. 4.4. Minimum balance for APY. And you get 4.4. Very nice. Now, I've never heard of these guys. It does say member FDIC, and so theoretically it would be fine. Oh, minimum deposit to open, that says 100. But to qualify for the APY, you only need to put 0 in, but you do need to put 100 in to do that. So it's 4.44%. And I was just saying in the Ramsey show chat, I probably don't change it chasing 1% extra or less. Probably don't do that. I'll leave that open. Why not? Why not leave that open? Where were we? And so safe, again, you gotta, those companies, and you can of course always go with one you've heard of on Bankrate. I think I saw Chase on there, so you would have probably heard of them before, but definitely check out the company. And again, read all the fine print. Dive's laughing at me, calling the guy a dumbass. Yeah, I mean, because they just are. They just are. I mean, people, it seems like more often than not. Or maybe it's just the people that post on here. Because they're not logical. And they say, like, the keto person said the problem right there and admitted, said, well, it's going to cost more money because we're on keto. And yeah, so that's the problem. That makes you not like everybody else that you're comparing yourself to. Quit being dumb. Mr. Flox 22, man, when is it time to move out? 4 years ago when you turned 18. Maybe just made senior financial analyst at age 22 in a low cost of living area. Great. Senior financial analyst that still lives with mommy and daddy. Why? Prior to this, I graduated early from college when I was 20 and was in a finance development program. Couldn't make senior for another 2 years, so I left to go to another company. I've been saving for retirement, a house. Currently have $90,000 in savings and $35K in my 401K. I have no student loans and no car debt. Fabulous. But might get a new car soon since it was a third-gen hand-me-down car. I have owned mine for 5-6 years and ready for something new and fun. And that's a no. That's dumb as crap. You do not buy a new car unless you are a millionaire, and you might be a senior financial analyst, but I believe you have enough smarts being a senior financial analyst that you realize you're not a millionaire. And so per Mr. Ramsey, whose subreddit you're on, it's not his, actually. It's run by fans, but it's called Dave Ramsey. So that is the basis for probably most of the advice that happens here, or at least that should happen here. And so you do not do that. I don't give a crap if you're ready for something new and fun. Very frugal person. None of that matters. Justification station. In my opinion, since I'm saving for a house, okay, you're gonna live with mommy and daddy until then? See, the problem with living in with mommy and daddy, that doesn't get you ready for the real world. So you're not experiencing real world expenditures, etc., etc. I took FPU in 5th grade, so was that too long ago? Do you not remember the advice? My new income is $90,500. Oh my goodness gracious me. Where are we? And 10% bonus that could be as high as 20%. Well, great. I don't have a girlfriend, but have been on dates recently. Congratulations. My parents have a 12 a.m. curfew as well. Yes, dude. Their house, their rules. As well, which can be restrictive at times. When I see, 22, just a dumbass kid, just, oh my goodness gracious me. So, and my mom upset. I came home at 1:07 according to the doorbell camera. Wait, how about, you know what time, when it's time to move out then? As soon as you start complaining about that, how about we move out? How about we move out now? Let's see. Rent near me is $1,600 a month for something nice, which is super expensive. Maybe you don't get something nice then. If you can't afford something nice on 90.5K a year, then I suggest you move to a lower cost of living area then. Quit being done, I mean, and this is gonna be your college taught senior financial analyst, right? Or whatever, stuff they're doing in that business, but has no clue about actual life and actual, even, is there even a budget and stuff? So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take Financial Peace University again because you apparently don't remember it, or it didn't apply enough to you. 5th grade is early, probably, for that. And expecting to retain it all, etc., which is super expensive in my area. Well, then maybe you don't get something as nice. So, and something nice is in the eye of the beholder. That means it's subjective, and so that means it's different for each person. And maybe you want something too nice, and maybe it's because you're used to something very nice because you're living with mommy and daddy still. My parents also upset I don't share my location with them anymore. Paging Dr. Cloud, move out now. As soon as possible. You have enough savings, do it. I am unwilling to negotiate with them being right, going to New York City for a solo trip before starting my new job. And they told me if I do that, I will be kicked out. Hey, get out of there. What are you waiting on? There shouldn't be any more typing. There should be more packing, is what I'm saying. Yeah, but here we go. I was raised on frugality, one pair of Marshall shoes at a time, and miserly attitude towards spending. Paying rent seems incredibly wasteful. Well, make up your darn mind. Do you want to pay rent and not live there, or do you want to live there and deal with them and their rules? Okay, this is, you're just a little whiny baby kid. Is what you're coming off as here. So, moving also, called my car insurance to go up another $8,000 a year because I will lose discounts. Yeah, tough crap. Hey, this is what we call life. Okay? It's time to, you're 22. It's time to stop being a little baby and whining about stuff and being an adult and accepting the reality of things, and you're not doing that. So yeah, paying rent, I understand you want to buy a house, but you should not move directly from your parents' house into your own house because you don't even know how the world works yet, because you're too dumb, because you've been living with mommy and daddy for 4 years longer than you should have been. Different glasses than I normally wear. No, I've had these same ones for a long time. I probably didn't clean them again. And sometimes they don't work that well. Like for up close, I'm looking at a what is this? A 42-inch TV here, and so I am nearsighted. So I only need these to see far away, and so sometimes it's better if I just look over them like that, and it's much clearer than that. So maybe I need to get readers. Just get a cheap pair of readers from the Walmart or something like that. Or I could just complain about it and say, oh, I wish I could see closer stuff better. I wish I could see closer stuff better. But it seems a waste to go buy that. Whiny babies. Anyway, Yeah, I'm sure I was similar when I was 22, but guess what? I wasn't living with mommy and daddy either, though. At 22. Admiral Freedom 03, feeling lost, need guidance. My husband, man, 27, and I, female, 25, just celebrated our 5-year anniversary. In our 5 years together, we've grown and learned so much together. Fabulous. Oh my goodness gracious me. That's too much to read. Is there a too long didn't read at the end? There is not. My goodness. 5 years ago, growing and learned so much together. Okay, so all that sounds great. How'd you get lost? Definitely affected a lot of eating out. Oh, I felt too depressed to cook for myself. Okay, there's always an excuse. Medical emergency for husband. Pregnant with first child. Difficult to come to grips with. Oh, because he was out of work. Okay, yeah, that's not fun. Mental health is also drastically improved. Well, great. At that point, I'm not reading. Yeah, I mean it's just way too many details. Way too many details. They would never let her get through even half of this on the show without interjecting and asking questions. What can we do for you today? Because we're overwhelmed and out of control in our stable job now. Okay, basically pays basically exactly what we need month to month. Well, you need to cut your expenses then. Essentially still living paycheck to paycheck. Then you need to cut out things that aren't 100% necessary. And if everything's 100% necessary, then you guys need more income. That's easy. Pregnant with our third, okay? Not that great of an idea, probably. Since you are lost, feeling lost, probably not the best time to have a child. We became dejected, discouraged, and often spent money. Yeah, we didn't have. Yeah, 9 out of 10 times on eating out. Yeah. So quit doing dumb crap is the way to not feel lost. Do the Ramsey advice. Do the baby steps. Do it correctly. Quit spending money. Quit being dumb. And so that's a lot of stuff. I understand there's emotional stuff here. I understand there's mental stuff here. I understand people do have mental problems that they need to see counselors for sure. But this is just you spending money, whether it's grief spending money or because you're overwhelmed. People use that word like toxic. They use it way, way too much to describe things where like one thing happens they don't like and all of a sudden the workplace is toxic, that kind of thing. And so that could be the same situation. Appropriate post 6826. I'm so close, but bad spending habits are creeping back up. Well, you are no different. Quit spending money. I've got all credit card debt paid off. Great. 18K in savings. Great. Need 7K more for full 6 months of expenses. Great. I've got 20K in student loan debt. No. Well, then you're doing it wrong. Oh, waiting for personal student loan forgiveness. Nope. You pay it off. Possible forgiveness. Yeah. If the president stops hating federal workers. Oh, quit being a little bitch. Can someone encourage me, get me back on board? Quit being a dumbass. You don't need to be encouraged. You need to get a fire under your ass and quit being stupid. I've started buying QOL crap on Amazon. That's dumb as crap, and that's stupid, and you know that's stupid, and you're doing it anyway. If you can't stop yourself from spending, you need counseling. You have a mental problem and you need counseling. If you're just being a dumbass, stop being a dumbass then. My goodness gracious me. Today, crazy today. So close but bad spending habit. You're also doing it wrong. The student loan debt, I don't care about personal student loan forgiveness. That's part of baby step 2 debt. And you would pay that up before doing the full emergency fund. So you're doing it wrong, and you're a dumbass. On top of that, Icky527, what baby step are we? And I don't know why people can't figure out what baby step you're on. And of course, we get the deal where people who, you know, brand new to the Ramsey advice, they might not have any idea, and they might look at this and it says step 6, pay off your home early, and so they think they're in step 6, but no, they have credit card debt. So you are in step 1, 2. You are in the lowest step that applies to you. That's where you are. And so what that means is you only have $1,000 emergency fund, and so you use everything extra you have saved other than $1,000 to put towards the debt. And you don't save 1 cent extra in savings until all the debt is gone. You don't invest. If you're already investing, you stop. You're not saving for kid college, and you're not putting extra on the mortgage. All of that money is going to debt, and then all of the extra money goes to the full emergency fund once all the debt is paid off. So you're doing it wrong. Let's see, too long didn't read. Okay, married. We signed a 39-month lease. That's a long commitment, babe. That's 3 years, babe. So the problem with signing a 39, I mean, I guess if you have lived there a year and you like it, fine. I guess that's fine. But you do not want to not have lived somewhere and do that kind of commitment. My goodness. At least just before we found Ramsey. Is that a car? At least just before we found Ramsey. 30 months left, no other consumer debt. Oh, it's on a car. Oh, okay. Full emergency fund. Can we turn our 401ks back on, or should we wait until this lease ends? You wait until the lease ends and you buy out the lease early. Or you sell the car and buy out the lease early. Contest, this isn't the case where we can no longer afford the lease. It doesn't matter. You would not lease it anyway if you're following the Ramsey advice. We were thrilled with the low payment back when we thought car leases were a great value. We just want to make sure we're following the plan. It's just a stupid tax, as Dave would say, not a burning issue in the budget. Well, if you want to keep the car, then you pay it off early. You buy yourself out of it and pay it off early. And so you're not leasing it anymore, you own it. And if that's too much money to do, then that would be when you sell it or whatever you have to do to get out of it, and then you buy a beater cash. Found Ramsey in February, start work baby steps in March, only had 1,500 in car. Okay, oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. You're doing it wrong. Where we're struggling is we want to stick to a tried and true method instead of doing my method of jumping from thing to thing. That's a great idea to do that. Throwing 1,000 in a brokerage account in November, making extra mortgage payment. Yeah, no, right. We don't want to do that. All without knowing why. Especially don't want to do that. Now that we've been intentional for 4.5 months, we're not sure if we're allowed to turn back. No, because you have that lease still. That would be baby step 2. So there is no investing, just like I said. And we are technically still in step 2. Yes, you are. You understand. Guess what? This person just doesn't want to be. And just wants an exception. The plan is to save up and either buy the lease or a similar car at the end of the lease. No, waiting till 39 months to have this resolved is not an option if you're going to follow the Ramsey advice. That is not an option. Quit being dumb. I've already run the numbers if we move into 4, 5. Yeah, we're not going to move into 4, 5, and 6 now. No, you're not doing it. No. Should we? Probably none of these 3. Move to 4, 5, and 6 now? That's a no. Stay in 2 until we save up the $19.45 and continue making the monthly payments. What's 1945? To get out of it? To pay it off? We'll have the residual, 1945. Saved by July. I guess residual is what it means, like the payoff amount for that. Okay. Okay, so you don't save up. I mean, I don't know. I can't say. I don't know how leases work. I don't know if you can make extra payments to it, but find out. You would find out if you can do that and do that. You do not save up first if you can. Like if it was a car loan, you would be putting money over time into that. Just like you put money in over time into the stock market instead of saving up a bunch first. So stay tuned until we save up the full buyout amount and buy the car out early. Yeah, that. But again, if you can pay extra on that towards the full buyout amount, you would do that. If they don't let you do that, fine. Stick it in a high yield savings account and save it up. Fine. But yeah, doesn't want to do that, wants to extremely be done with step 2. But the problem is you signed a 39-month lease and you did it right before Ramsey, and now you're still trying to hold on to that car. So you are on baby step 2, as you said you technically are. No, you fully are. That's the only option of what you're in. Juicy warp drive, funeral decision help. And where are we at? How much is it? Oh, not okay. What would Dave do? Flair, my ex-boyfriend, 33, got in a horrific boating accident and died recently. Oh my goodness. He was the love of my life. He contacted me regularly to check in and try to see me, but I wasn't able to both see him and move on. Ex-boyfriend got in. Oh, ex-boyfriend. Okay. Ex-boyfriend. Still though. Okay, so he was just trying to be friends still? Cared about you still? Okay, that's great. Oh, he was alcoholic and I had to leave the relationship more to have a life outside his addiction. Sure, I understand that. Never loved or been connected to someone the way I love this man. I'm in debt and a little into baby step 1, getting by. Paying debt, it's expensive to go to the funeral, flight, vehicle, hotel, looking at $1,700-ish. I'm going to go ahead and say that you couldn't see him then. Wasn't able to both see him and move on. I'm going to say keep being moved on. I mean, you can think about him, but funerals are not for the person. Funerals are either for yourself or for the family. And so it's certainly good to go support the family, but not if you're on baby step 1 for an ex-boyfriend. Again, like if, I mean, if it's an actual, blood relative, that kind of thing, then maybe. But not for an ex-boyfriend that you wouldn't even see him ever. Because you needed to move on. And I understand that. For the cheapest flight, cheapest, yeah. Flight alone is so much, do I go? Nope. Will I regret not going for the rest of my life? Maybe, but I would think probably not, since you were in the mindset of I can't both see him and move on. Do I get a third job to pay for this? Because, see, he doesn't know that you're not there. Maybe. But if he can, wherever he is now, if he would know that you're not there, he also knows that you're writing this. And he also knows that you are thinking about him. And so that's good enough. Do I get a third job to pay for this? Third job, yes, to do your baby steps, not to do this. Do I open up and put this on a credit card? No, you do not open up. How is that? How is being dumb and going into more debt? How is that opening up? What do you mean, do I open up? That's weird phrasing. Anyway, I need help deciding while I'm absolutely drowning in grief. Tell people how you feel. There is no forever. For sure. For sure. But I mean, you can't have both. You can't be away from him and plus be with him, as you realized at first. And so, I mean, maybe you feel this grief might be more like guilt because he was trying to reach out to at least be your friend, and you couldn't have it. So maybe that's some guilt there. I don't know. I would say anything if you're absolute, if this is not another situation where people, drowning in grief, where this is, and you're exaggerating it. If you're not exaggerating it, then maybe you would spend money on counseling if your insurance doesn't cover it. Grief counseling, perhaps, if it's that big of a problem. Yeah, but tell people how you feel. There is no forever. Right. And you should have gotten out of that and gotten closure at the time. When you were decided to both see him and move on, and you couldn't do the CM, so you should have had the one conversation with him, and then that might have been it, and then you might not feel so guilty now. That's just a guess. I don't know. That's just an option of something that could be happening. Because it's someone you haven't seen. And so, I mean, I understand that you I don't know how long you spent together. And so, I mean, it could be grief. It could actually be grief. But I feel like, for me, it would be more like guilt instead. Oh, let's see. When is the next one? Probably a Thursday night, I think. What's today? Thursday night is the next stream, and I will go into that in just a second. But let's just preview some of the questions. Sweet spot for buying cars, whatever you can afford to buy in cash, and you're not in baby step 2. Otherwise, you're buying a beater. Because why not? Retirement percentage too high. So starting baby step 6. So let's just check the baby steps to make sure they say, oh, look at this. Step 4, invest 15%. And this dumbass is going to say he is doing 37% of gross income. And where did you get that number from? So we owed a lot of taxes last year, so I figured I would max out my 403B, hoping it will help. Quit being a dumbass. Baby steps, am I missing context? So when people try to get, oh, well, I need context on this, you're trying to finesse around something. There's something in the baby steps, I'm guessing, that this person does not like. And of course, that's always a thing. Mr. Ramsey said one time to a caller, you're trying to find a way to not do the stuff, meaning follow his advice. And the person was indeed trying to do that, trying to talk around having to do the baby steps in order and follow the advice. Alrighty. Once more, Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you are having money problems, or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, or if you're a dumbass that needs to be told you're a dumbass so you quit being a dumbass, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation assessment with me. And to do that, you just email. Schedule changes too much to keep updating a calendar, to use a website to do that. It's coachstevemoney@gmail.com, and you can use that email for scheduling, for anything, any question about finances or financial coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney, to CashApp for $, Coach Steve Money, or Walmart gift card to that same email address, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, and here's where we actually confirm when it is. The Ramsey Aftershow show, that's probably today's 11:07 a.m., and that's what time it will start, Eastern time. Yeah, Tuesday, June 24th, that's today, and none else the rest of this week. Answering your financial questions streams, 8 p.m. Eastern, that's when those happen. Possibly Thursday, I might have an appointment that will happen. But if not, I'll do one then, and also Friday night, 8 p.m. as well. Alrighty. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And thank you so much if you've already done that. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day. And could easily be, in parentheses, stop being a dumbass. Bye.